Spooked, she'd called the dogs and raced back to the house. In the comfort of her kitchen, she'd decided she was overreacting. So what if someone had been sitting alone on Potter Hill? So what if their chair faced this property? What could they possibly see from that far away? But now, as she stared into the dark woods under the glow of the autumn moon, Megan realized her earlier angst had been warranted. With a good set of binoculars, someone could see quite a bit from that spot, like her comings and goings, and the times she and Bebe were alone. The Washington Acres Cafe and Larder was abuzz. Megan was happy to see a small line waiting to pay by the front register. She scanned the space, letting her gaze travel over the well-stocked shelves and back toward the kitchen. She spotted Alvaro Hernandez, the cafe's beloved, if not slightly grumpy, cook. Only today, slightly grumpy didn't quite capture it. The scowl that covered the bottom half of his face was rivaled only by a pair of tightly knit gray bushy eyebrows. "Morning, Alvaro," she said. Her chef grunted in reply. The cafe had only been up and running for 6 months, but already it was starting to feel like a winsome hub, a place where townspeople came to pick up necessities like homegrown vegetables, canned goods, and local pastured meats, and, increasingly, a place where they met to dine and socialize. In fact, the cafe had regulars, a number of men and a few women, who'd started to call themselves the Breakfast Club. They began meeting twice a week over the summer to plan for Winsome's Oktoberfest celebration. But even after most of the details had been ironed out, they continued to show up. And now they were there almost daily. That's what seemed to have piqued Alvaro's impatience today. "More coffee, Alvaro," one of the men called. "I'll have some too," another yelled. "And maybe a muffin, cranberry orange." Alvaro shot Megan a look of exasperation. "I'll get the coffees," Megan said. In the kitchen, she shuffled around the cook, making a fresh pot of brew. The air was rich with the aromas of sautéed onions and peppers and the pungent, sweet scent of cinnamon. Alvaro was pouring brown batter into muffin cups, his hands moving swiftly with graceful agility. He popped the muffins in the commercial oven and walked over to the sink. He was short and slender with a long, drawn face and a shocking mop of white hair. But his eyes, hazelnut brown and surprisingly kind, shone with keen awareness. Alvaro owned no poker face. "I have to watch every ingredient when Ted Cool is here. All those allergies. And Albert Nunez is causing trouble again," Alvaro muttered under his breath. 6 cups of coffee. He waved a dish towel, his face turning red. "No more. I should charge him for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. "Alvaro." "That man's a freeloader." But Alvaro's voice had softened, as it normally did when he was speaking to his boss. "You want to make a profit here? You can't let these men sit and loiter." Megan glanced out at the cafe section of the store. When she'd agreed to leave her Chicago law practice and return to her hometown of Winsome in eastern Pennsylvania, she knew it would be hard, reinventing the farm and the old store. But things were slowly coming together. She wanted the cafe to be a meeting place for the locals. Hadn't that been her vision all along? Sure, they tended to sit and talk for hours, sometimes racking up nearly non-existent bills. And yes, they were loud, but they congregated at odd times, so there was usually room for other customers, and they were always polite. Alvaro was just sore that he had to keep an eye on these gents rather than cooking. The answer, perhaps, was to eventually hire another server, not to kick out her most loyal customers. Suddenly a loudly yelled, "Damn it, Lou!" caught Megan's attention. Albert Nunez seemed to be picking an argument with Lou.